Let's discuss some factors which I think you should know before considering this student colleague as your student colleague or not. And there's a huge chance that you will get admitted in none of them because the level of competition at every public student colleague of now Prüfung is way too much. I know lots and lots of people who are enrolled at these student colleagues, but they are not able to pass the final examination at any university. It means that as long as you're applying before the deadline, you have a guaranteed place to study for your student colleague for your preparatory course in Germany. Hey guys, welcome to this video. In this video, I'll be talking about student colleagues in Germany. In particular, I'll be talking about Studienkolleg Paderborn, which is situated at the University of Paderborn in the North Rhine-Westphalia state of Germany. I'll be talking about my experience about studying here, about writing the exam, the final exam, which is called the Festellungsprüfung, or FSP in short, and my personal opinion on this student colleague after spending 1 year here. I'll also share a way to get 300 euros off on the total fee at this student colleague if you stick to the end of the video. So please watch the whole video, take your 300 euros off if you opt for studying here at this very student colleague. If you have any doubts regarding studies in Germany or general doubt about living in Germany, you can just book a session with me from the link in the description, or you can just DM me on Instagram and we can talk about your studies or your living in Germany. Now let's start with the video. First of all, what is a student colleague? So student colleague is the bridge course for the students who have 12 years of schooling in their home country. For example, in India we have a schooling of 12 years. So in Germany, the schooling system is of 13 years. So this 1 year course, the 1 year preparatory course is called Student Colleague, which allows us to study bachelors in Germany. Now, who needs a student colleague? I think I already answered this question. The students who have a 12-year schooling in their home country need an additional year of schooling, which is called Student Colleague. So for students of India, Pakistan, and neighboring countries where the schooling is of 12 years, they need it. Now let's talk about the types of student colleagues. There are basically two main types. The first one is a private one, the second one is a public one. In this video, we are talking about a private student colleague. All in all, we'll talk about the advantages and disadvantages and the misinformation, misunderstandings, and all the misconceptions which are flowing in Facebook groups, on YouTube videos about private student colleagues. So there are basically two types of private student colleagues. The first one is the completely private one. It has no affiliation with any public university, and it's like a coaching center where you have to go and study and then write the exam externally at some other university or at a particular examination center. The other one is the private student colleague, but it is also affiliated to a public university. Let me tell you one very important point. The most important point about these two types of student colleague is that they are completely different. The first one, which is not affiliated to any public university, is a total waste of money, total waste of your time, your energy, your resources, everything. They basically have nothing. They are basically like a coaching center which enables you to study for a year, gives you a visa, like gives the documents for your visa, and basically does nothing. I know lots and lots of people who are enrolled at these student colleagues, but they are not able to pass the final examination at any university whatsoever because the level of studying is very low as compared to any other public student colleague or a private student colleague which is affiliated to a public university. So this is very less recommended that you go and enroll at any student colleague which is completely private and not affiliated to any public university. Please keep in mind that never enroll in these types of student colleague. You'll find these student colleagues everywhere in whole of Germany, in every city, everywhere you'll find these advertisements about student colleagues which are private, which charge you 4,000 to 5,000 euros for basically nothing. The teachers are not so good, they don't know what to teach, they don't even know what will be in the exam because the exams are external. You have to basically enroll at every university as an external student and then write the exam. So it's a big no from anyone who knows even a slight bit about the student colleague system in Germany. Now the main topic of the video is Studienkolleg of Paderborn, which is affiliated to, which works and cooperates with the University of Paderborn. So this is completely different from the other private student colleagues, which is not affiliated to anywhere, to any public university. So this is the main difference, the biggest difference, which creates a lot of misunderstanding between people about private student colleagues in Germany. Now let's talk about the advantages of studying at the Studienkolleg of Paderborn. The first advantage is that there is no entrance examination. It means that as long as you're applying before the deadline, you have a guaranteed place to study for your Studienkolleg, for your preparatory course in Germany. The second biggest advantage is that you have an unconditional letter. In German, we call it Immatrikulationsbescheinigung, which means the acceptance letter from the university. So with this Immatrikulationsbescheinigung, you can just apply it for visa, and there's a huge chance that you will receive the visa for 1 year, which is very rare in most of the cases. Most of the students receive the visa for 3 to 6 months, and then they have to come here and then they have to extend it for the next year or like 2 years. The third biggest advantage is that you can apply for any university after you have received the FSP result from the Studienkolleg of Paderborn. What this means is that, for example, if I want to apply to TU Berlin after I have studied at the Studienkolleg of Paderborn, so I can use the FSP result, the Festellungsprüfung result, which is the final examination of Studienkolleg, to apply to the University of Berlin, to the Technical University of Berlin. So after your Studienkolleg here at the University of Paderborn, you can apply to any Hochschule or Fachhochschule in Germany. So any university or University of Applied Science in Germany will accept your result from the Studienkolleg of Paderborn because it is certified. The fourth biggest advantage which I find about studying at the Studienkolleg of Paderborn is that you have a guaranteed place to study at the University of Paderborn. What this means is that even if you don't apply to any university after your FSP result, you still have a place to study after your Studienkolleg at the public University of Paderborn. So for example, if I'm not applying anywhere else after my Studienkolleg, then also I will have a guaranteed place to study at a public university in Germany for Bachelors. And it's non-negotiable, like you have a place as soon as you pass the FSP exam. So it's the biggest thing which no other Studienkolleg offers as far as I know in Germany. The fourth advantage which you will have as a student of the Studienkolleg of Paderborn is that you will be considered as a student of the University of Paderborn. What this means is that you will have all the student facilities available to you which the students of University of Paderborn have. For example, you will have the semester ticket which you can go to any public transport in the state of North Rhine-Westphalia. You will have certain discounts in certain stores with the semester ticket which you'll receive from the Studienkolleg of Paderborn. You'll have the access to the university dorms, which is a great thing because the housing system in Germany is not so great and it's very tough to find a home in Germany. But with the university dorms, you can easily find a room in Germany if you apply a bit early, like 3 to 4 months early, and if you're sure that you'll be moving to Paderborn in next 3 to 4 months. Along with this, you'll have access to university library, university events, like everything which a normal Paderborn University student has, you'll have the access to all that too. The sixth biggest advantage while studying at this Studienkolleg is that the final examination, the Festellungsprüfung, is internal. It means the teachers who are teaching you throughout the year will set the paper, will give you sample papers. The surrounding where you will write the exam is pretty familiar to you. So this has the biggest advantage over all the other student colleagues which are private, which have external Festellungsprüfung. What I'm saying is you kind of know what will be in the exam even before you write the exam. So you are pretty much more confident than the other people who are writing the exam as an external student. Like if you're enrolled at a private student college which is not affiliated to any public university, then you'll have to go to a public university, then enroll yourself as an external exam taker, and then you have to write the exam as an external student. So you have no experience about anything. The teachers are unknown, the people who check your papers are unknown, the set of questions are unknown, the pattern is completely unknown to you. So that's why in the previous section of this video I told you that no one should ever opt for a private student colleague which is not affiliated to a public university as well. Let's quickly also talk about the disadvantages of studying here at the Private Student College of Paderborn. In my experience, I did not find any disadvantage as such, but some people might find it as a demerit or a negative point about studying here that the student colleague has a fee. So the fee is 7,000 euros, which is a lot of money. But if you consider all the factors which I will list in a moment, then I think you will see that these 7,000 euros is worth it. Just watch the next part of the video and you will know what I'm talking about, and then you can make up your mind if you want to study here or not. Let's discuss some factors which I think you should know before considering this student colleague as your student colleague or not. The first thing is the time factor. See, I know this student colleague has 7,000 euro fee, which is a lot, but let's see if you come to Germany to write the Aufnahmeprüfung of maybe 5 universities, and there's a huge chance that you will get admitted in none of them because the level of competition at every public student colleague Aufnahmeprüfung is way too much. It's like 1,500 people are competing for like 30 seats, and also on top of that there is a nationality quota as well. Not particularly quota, but there's a nationality limit as well. What it means is that at a particular student colleague, only 7 to 8 people from a particular nationality can be admitted in one semester. So the chances of you cracking the Aufnahme is very high, but the chances of you actually studying at the public student colleague is very less, because even if you score full marks, they will just put you on the wait list, and after a month or so you'll be told that you have to again come and write the Aufnahmeprüfung. So let's say that this happens to you. So you'll have to wait another 6 months to write the Aufnahmeprüfung again, and also there is no surety, there is no assurance that you'll crack the Aufnahmeprüfung next time. So you will waste 6 months all in all, and maybe you will waste 6 months more. And I know people who are writing Aufnahme from 1.5 years who came to Germany before me, and right now also they are just writing Aufnahme only thinking that they will be in a public student colleague next semester, and next semester they're writing from 3 semesters. And on top of that you have to also pay the living cost here, around 400 to 500 euros in a small city and 600 to 700 euros in a big city. So considering all these things, I think the time factor plays an important role. If you consider the 7,000 euros, if you don't, like, there is a huge risk of you not cracking any Aufnahmeprüfungs. So the second factor which you should consider before applying here is that the city is small. It's not a very big city like Berlin, Munich, but it's a compact city and the people here are very good. In this last part of the video, after sharing the advantages, the disadvantages, and then complete overview of the student colleague, I would like to share my personal experience about studying here at this very student colleague. So let's start with the FSP examination, the final examination. So I had the T course. In T course, we have 4 subjects. In different student colleagues, it is different, but for us, it was 4 subjects. It was German, mathematics, physics, and chemistry. So for 3 subjects, which is German, mathematics, and physics, we had a written examination. And for the 4th subject, which is chemistry, we had the mündliche examination, which means it was like a viva. I received 1.5 Noten at the end of the result, which is pretty good in my opinion. So 1 is the highest and 4 is the lowest. Let's talk about the teachers and how did we prepare for the FSP examination. The teachers had basically taught us what will come in the examination. So this was the major advantage for us, because the teachers who were teaching us were the ones who were setting the paper, checking and doing everything, writing us marks. giving us certificates. So everything was in the same teacher's hand who were teaching us. After a while, it was pretty easy for us to do well in the examination, as we had a complete overview of what was to be coming in the examination. Now let's talk about the atmosphere inside the student colleague, what to expect. So in every class, you will expect people from every nationality. Basically, you'll have people from every part of the world, every continent. You'll find 3 to 4 people surely. So the atmosphere is pretty international. You can make international friends. So all in all, my experience at this student colleague was pretty good, and I would surely recommend this student colleague to anyone who does not want to waste his or her time in writing Aufnahmeprüfung and waiting for the result and doing all those things. And if you are a bit financially stable, just put in the 7,000 euros, and the discount part, which I will tell you in the last part of the video, which is the most important part for some of you who are watching this. You will have 300 euros off on the total fee. Now the best part of the video about how to get 300 euros off on the total fee. What you have to do is, when you apply online, which I have linked in the description, you'll have to go to the reference point. I'll also put a screenshot over here about how to do it, and you just have to go to the Empfohlen. If you're doing in English, it means recommended by, and you can just tap on that, and then you'll have an option to write the name. So just write my name. It's Anshnaman, ANSHNAMAN, and my email ID, which I'll give in the description box again. And you can just apply with that, and when you receive the receipt, you will see that there is 300 euros off. So in this way you can have 300 euros off, and on the other hand, I will receive some Amazon gift coupon. If you like this video and you found the video informative, so please use my referral so that I also get some Amazon coupons, and on top of that you will have 300 euros off. And also share this video if anyone wants to come to Studienkolleg Paderborn. You can directly contact me on Instagram, or you can book a session with me from the link in the description, and we can discuss everything about your studies in Germany. So I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, please subscribe to my channel and please like the video. Thanks a lot, and see you in the next one.